You may have been told to rest, but now activity makes you feel worse. Or you might feel like you have good days where you have energy and then you do a lot that day and then it takes you days to recover. In this chapter, we will discuss old philosophies and what is currently recommended, how much and what kind of activity you should be doing, how to control your cognitive fatigue, and some tips and tricks to get the most out of your day while helping your brain heal. Let's talk about some advice you may have heard in the past. In the past, the recommendation was to sit in a dark room and completely avoid all activity, including screens. Another recommendation was that you shouldn't sleep or that you should be awoken every hour. Cocooning is what this method is called and was used many years ago. This is no longer considered beneficial. In fact, studies showed that the method, which removed all stimuli, actually prolonged recovery. Other strategies that have commonly been used as treatment are things like wearing sunglasses indoors, dimming the lights, wearing earplugs, or wearing a baseball cap to shield the light. These are all considered compensatory strategies, and while there is a time and a place for minimizing stimulus, it is important to use these strategies sparingly as they actually can perpetuate symptoms. You see, if you are not exposed to any light or screens or noise in small doses, your brain will never relearn how to process the stimuli, and you will become increasingly sensitive. How much activity should you be doing? Light activity is the best thing you can do for recovery. However, your brain does not function as efficiently or effectively as it did pre-injury. Think about your brain as a red, yellow, green traffic light. Green means you just woke up, symptoms are low. Yellow, your symptoms are starting to increase, maybe your headache is worsening or you're feeling more irritable. Red, your symptoms are completely exacerbated. You can't think, you feel like your head is about to explode. The goal is to stay in the green. When you get to yellow, take a break to get yourself back to green. If you let yourself get to red, you have reached a point where it will take hours or maybe days to get back to green. Planning and pacing of activities is very important so that you don't push yourself into that red zone and essentially make yourself worse. You should aim to remain below your symptom threshold to promote recovery. Your goal is to gradually increase activity tolerance without increasing symptoms or crossing the symptom threshold into that red light zone. Remember that what you do and how long you do it for can impact your degree of symptoms. Small doses of exposure to bright lights, noise, and screens is key. Here are some tips. Set a timer to ensure that a task is stopped prior to symptom onset. Start with 20 minutes. This will allow you to monitor your response to activity and teach you how to self-pace and self-monitor. Sit outdoors or walk if you can tolerate it during natural blue light hours. Natural blue light is the time of day when it is light out and before the sun rises and as it is setting. This type of light boosts alertness, helps memory and brain function, and elevates mood. Try for at least 15 minutes. Spend time outdoors in natural sunlight. Being outside in the sun is a perfectly appropriate time to wear sunglasses. Natural sunlight has many health benefits, including boosting vitamin D levels, warding off depression, and improving sleep quality. Red and near-infrared lights are very beneficial for decreasing inflammation, reducing pain, improving circadian rhythm, improving sleep quality, and improving mental acuity. Whether it's natural sunlight, natural blue light, or artificial red light, find a regular time each day to sit and relax. Close your eyes, sit back, enjoy a cup of hot coffee or tea, and set a timer for at least 15 minutes. Take breaks from screens at regular intervals of 20 minutes or less. Set a timer so that you don't get too absorbed in what you are doing. The trick is to rest before you need the rest so that then you can continue later and make more out of your day. If you want to attend a public event that you know will be loud, earplugs can be your friend. Staying home and not interacting with your friends and family is also not good for your mental health. Here are some strategies to get the most out of your day. Using strategies to plan and pace your day will help you reach your long-term activity goal to be able to engage in activities for longer periods of time without making your symptoms worse. Use a planner to plan your day in advance. This promotes scheduling of necessary rest breaks into your day and activities across a number of days rather than trying to push through and get things all done at once. Your phone alarm is a great tool to remind you in advance of appointments, meetings, rest breaks, doing exercises, anything else that you need to remember to do. Keep a written log of your water and fluid intake. Aim for at least 100 ounces of fluid per day. Be kind to yourself and accept that while you are healing, you won't be able to do as much in a day. The sooner you can learn to manage your symptoms with pacing, the more energy you will have to perform exercises that will get you feeling better. This, in turn, will get you back to your regular daily activity level. In summary, doing nothing at all will not promote recovery and likely will make your symptoms worse. Doing too much can be like picking at a scab and may cause prolonged symptoms. Therefore, completing structured paced activities throughout the day with rest breaks is ideal.